We finally have an idea on when we could be getting Elder Scrolls 6. This is coming from Jason Schreier. Some people believe he is the GOAT of gaming journalism, but according to him, Elder Scrolls 6 is at least 2 to 3 years away. Bethesda is being overhauled to focus on key franchises like Elder Scrolls and Fallout. Now, Elder Scrolls 6 being 2 to 3 years away, it makes sense. 2028 makes the most sense for me when it comes to Elder Scrolls outside of 2027. If you look at the release date schedule for Bethesda Game Studios as a whole, right, this is where it confuses me why people think we're not going to get Elder Scrolls 6 until mid-2030s, or we won't get Fallout 5 until 2040 plus. This is where it confuses me a little bit because Bethesda Game Studios, the longest they have ever taken in between releases is like 5 years. And that was between Fallout 76, you have to count 76, it's a Bethesda Game Studios game, Fallout 76, and Starfield. And that has COVID in there. That has them doing redoing the Creation Engine, ramping it up to Creation Engine 2. It has all of that in those 5 years. And that's with a delay in there. They were supposed to come out with Starfield in 2022. So really, if they came out with Starfield in 22, that's a 4-year gap between releases. They've never gone longer than 5. So 2028 does make a lot of sense. Everybody's saying, 2030s. To me, it's just like they've never taken that long to make a game. Now, you look at Morrowind 2002 to Oblivion 2006. Then Oblivion to Fallout 3, 2006 to 2008. Fallout 3 was a brand new IP for Bethesda Game Studios at the time too, and it only took them 2 years. What does that tell you? They don't just work on one project at one time. They work on multiple at one time. Then from Fallout 3 to Skyrim, 3 years, 2008 to 2011. Then from Skyrim to Fallout 4, 4 years. Then from Fallout 4 to 76, 3 years. Then, as I said earlier, 76 to Starfield, 5. So Elder Scrolls 6 being 2 to 3 years away from now makes sense. 2028 does make sense. I don't know why we have to go to and draw the worst conclusion, which is 2029, 2030, maybe longer. I think 2028 is the nice sweet spot there for Elder Scrolls 6, considering Bethesda Game Studios' history. Now, here's where it grinds my gears a little bit. We've been hearing that Elder Scrolls and Fallout are going to be made priority for Bethesda, right? And Xbox cut Bethesda Game Studios as dozens of programmers, artists, designers, and QA have been laid off, many of whom worked for BGS for decades. That doesn't make any sense to me. If you want to prioritize Fallout and Elder Scrolls, if you want them to come out faster, why in the world are you laying off as many people as you are? But on top of that, why are you laying off people who have been working for BGS for decades? These are the people who are familiar with these franchises that you want to pump out quicker. That is just mind-boggling to me. Makes absolutely no sense. None whatsoever. You would make billions off of Elder Scrolls 6. You will. You will make billions off of a brand new Fallout game. But you're laying people off, and on top of that, you're laying people off who have been working for BGS, working for Bethesda in general for years. And you want these franchises out faster. Make it make sense. The layoffs in general, laying off as many people as they did for Elder Scrolls Online. Somebody mentioned that a former senior designer of Elder Scrolls Online, that there's really no one left after the layoffs. If you want to move on from Elder Scrolls Online for whatever reason, it makes them a ton of money. If you want to move on from Elder Scrolls Online, which is a Bethesda game, not a BGS game, but if you want to move on from Elder Scrolls Online, fine, but don't let go of those people that could potentially help you in speeding up the process of Elder Scrolls 6. It doesn't make any sense to me why you would take people who are familiar with the Elder Scrolls franchise and then you're just laying all of them off and you're not reallocating them. I would have done that. It's like you're going to make billions off Elder Scrolls 6. Same with the new Fallout game. So it doesn't make any sense. And here's another thing with Elder Scrolls Online. The MMO success helped pay for games that were canceled before release, including Project Blackbird, an MMO that was shut down during Microsoft's recent restructuring. It's just Elder Scrolls Online made you a lot of money, and it funded other failing projects. And Microsoft just gutted the studio. Doesn't make any sense, especially since you want Elder Scrolls 6 to come out quicker, the Fallout franchise to come out quicker. Why are you gutting people that are familiar with the franchise? Cutting people that have worked for BGS for decades. Anyway, following the layoffs, an internal email at Bethesda about the future of the company reached IGN. The focus appears to be on rapidly increasing the pace of production of its star franchises, mainly Elder Scrolls and Fallout. IGN also speculates that Obsidian id Software may be pushed towards supporting the release of games in those franchises. Like I said, if you want to come out with these franchises quicker, why did you make the kind of wholesale changes that you did? It doesn't make any sense to me. And if Elder Scrolls 6 comes out any later than 2028 because of these layoffs, the irony, the absolute irony, and honestly, it ticks me off the more I talk about it. It really does. So listen, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. Jason Schreier believes that Elder Scrolls 6 is at least 2 to 3 years away, and that's not a crazy assumption. 2028, I think, if not 27, I think 2028 is the most realistic release date for Elder Scrolls 6, considering the pattern of Bethesda Game Studios releases. But all these layoffs drives me a little nuts. It really does. Breaks for the families that have been affected by this and people who have been a part of the company for a very long time, who are familiar with the Fallout franchise and Elder Scrolls franchise, are gone. And you want them to expedite the process of releasing these games. None of this makes sense. But I want to know what you guys have to say down in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care.